What up? What up?
What's up, bro?
What's going down, man?
Everything's everything. You all right?
Yeah, man.
Politicians are being hunted by white people. Right?
No, man. I'm at the crib, man. I'm at the crib. We made it home. I'm back in Gary.
Yo, you see they running up on the other dude, Graham, whatever whoever.
Report. Hey, man, it's shenanigans right now.
Yeah, it's like, and it's not us. We just like now, like sitting back and watching them. Just, I don't know. We never went through no shit like this.
No. It's real talk, man. We just wrapped up our first week of session at the Indiana State House, man. It was real. We seeing a lot of bills that's coming through that's doing more harm than good. They trying to put the block. How they. I think it's like a buildup as they've seen everything taking place this summer with protests, with the whole Black Lives Matter movement. They put legislation in place to block everything, right? They're trying to block the whole momentum of quote unquote the defund the police aspect, right? So there's a bill right now in Indiana where it prohibits local communities from taking money out of the budget of the police. Now imagine that. That's the state telling the city, no, you can't do that. It don't make sense, right? That's just an example. Then they got another law that they're trying to pass that said if you get convicted for any type of rioting during a protest, they can take all your state benefits, meaning your health care, meaning you can't get if you're on it.
So if
that's the type of stuff.
Wow. And is that something that has to go through Congress and then the Senate, or is that because it's a local thing?
Totally separate. So the stuff that Congressman Carson working on, that's on the federal side, and the stuff I'm working on in Indiana, that's on the state side.
Right. So, I got it. Wow, man, that's crazy. So I know you was trying to get some laws passed, right?
Man, we got a lot of good stuff going on right now, man. Like we got momentum right now. I got 2 bills on police reform. I got the no-knock warrant bill that we're trying to ban the use of no-knock warrants. We have the ban in the use of the chokehold in Indiana as well that we're trying to push through. So those are just an example on the police reform. Then the work that me and you was doing last year on diabetes.
Yeah.
Right. We was able to get the law passed where an individual don't have to have a prescription. And that came through a conversation that you and I had at the studio. Right. But this year we're trying to cap the out-of-pocket expenses a person pays for insulin.
Wow.
Right.
It's expensive too.
Man, I had 2 sisters testify in the committee, right? They told me that insulin costs so much that they had to ration it. Like you take it this day, I'll take it the next day.
Yeah, it's an expensive disease. It's definitely an expensive disease. And
yeah, man.
It's super fly that we can have a conversation about, what the world needs because, I understand how expensive it is, but I'm not at a situation where I can't get it. But I have empathy for those that can't. And then to see you go ahead and just, apply that, get a law passed and really help people. And then, expound on the law. But I feel like people knew that, we do have a voice. We just have to know how to architect it and go get it made into a law or lobby for it. And then that's the only real way to really help other than just complaining. There is things that you can do. You know what I mean?
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
I do think it's important for people to understand these laws that are being passed that don't behoove them and know how they're getting passed. People are making moves that we don't know how to make, and they're doing it in a way that controls us.
Right.
Like I was watching what was the name of that? Davy Crockett. And back then when they were making the laws that you could just be able to take land from Indians, like it was a law passed, he stood up and he lost, and he even lost political favor. But, that's how it happens. They make laws that behoove them, not everybody else.
Right.
And we have to be able to stop that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, absolutely.
So yeah, you wanted to at the forefront of letting us understand how to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Look, man, a lot of people don't realize they're so close to the process. I was telling folks the other day that in just the state legislature alone, we impact every aspect of your life, from education to healthcare to the environment. And your local legislator might live 4 or 5 blocks from you. You don't even know it.
Yep.
That's how it's important that you need to know who these folks are. If you're walking in the grocery store, if you're walking in the drugstore,
Yeah.
so you can tell them. Most of the bills that I come up with come through conversation.
I
Conversation of people.
I personally know that, and I personally seen you listen.
Yeah.
No, it's real. And
It's
real
real.
people are the ones that are the only ones that can get laws passed for other real people because they understand. You know?
And
I'm
it's
real
on the flip
excited about
side
the
too.
commission. I'm real excited
Yeah.
about the commission because I do feel that we can make a difference as it relates to exposure and getting some things done. You know, helping people get elected that deserve it, and helping expose those that deserve it as well. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I just look
Look,
at
man.
like all going on today as the end of one day and beginning of another. But the
Right.
beginning of this day got to behoove us. We just have, like, you know, everything is sort of on the table now. It's proof of concept that obviously when black people do stuff, they get treated different. And that's got to become different. But, you know, before it was just us exaggerating or that was some kind of a conspiracy theory. It's right there in black and white. The president-elect acknowledged it. And, you know, I think it's time for a positive change. But we can't wait for the change. We have to make the change. We have to do it.
Absolutely.
But the opportunity is there.
Yeah. Man, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, it's the people's opportunity now more than ever. You know, every moment we get, every chance we get, we got to speak truth to power. Period. You know, and I'm telling folks now, you got to let your voice be heard through the political process, and not just during the presidential elections either. It's not just the presidential elections; it's during those smaller elections that folks not paying attention to when you electing judges, prosecutors, and all those type of seats. That's what matters when we talk about criminal justice reform, even with education, school board members, you know. So we can't just look at the big races, the big ticket races like the presidential or the governors or the
It's
mayors
like
and stuff like that.
it's like only going to the Super Bowl and you ain't fighting the whole season. You know what I'm saying? Or the whole league. Some people
Absolutely.
Super Bowl, but they don't want to. They're not in the game. You know, they just want to go to the championship. But you're right. And I think the more understanding we have of the system, the more people will be interested in it and understand that it is a game that we should be playing. And this game is for our life. So, you know, if we care about others and we care about ourselves, we got to go and fight in a right way, the right fight, not the fight they did yesterday. That was silly. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Now,
The right
let me
fight.
get
Go
your
learn how to
thoughts.
lie. Pardon?
Let me get your thoughts because when we look at what's taking place and how the nation is shifting and changing, man, and the work that we're doing, and man, you've assembled some folks from across the country, man, to put this commission together. Like, what's your personal ultimate vision on the commission?
Trying to do? I think number one, accountability. So, you know, we're a team and we're like-minded. You know, we all have the same agendas, which is to help everyone culturally. So if somebody messes with any one of us, they messing with all of us, you know, and also credibility. You know, we're stand-up guys and women and very credible as it relates to medicine, politics, economic empowerment, therapy, religious history, all of it. So if we give you, you know, OSG with the education, 90 principles. So if we give you the stamp of approval only based on the fact that you got to be as legit as us, then, you know, that should carry some weight for people and they're going to have to respect that.
Right.
And also, if we get you there and you don't do what you say you're going to do, you know, there's a television network under this umbrella. So we're going to put you on blast, make a movie and a doc about you, a cartoon about you. all that. It's recourse when you're not going to do things honorably as it relates to the culture.
Right.
You know? And then also misinformation that gets spread as it relates to medicine and all the other things that come with that. You know, black people tend to get things last. We don't get the innovations first. We can't afford the innovations first. And that
Yeah.
got to stop. We have to have the same resources as everybody else when everybody else gets it, if not before. So when you have someone like Dr. Chris Purnell that can tell you everything, if you know, like even as it relates to Corona, when she was on your show, the stuff she said, it was stuff that people didn't know, and it
No.
made people conscious of things that they weren't before. And
That's
once you
right.
have consciousness, you have responsibility. So, you know, we'll know the medicine. We'll understand also the unrecognized trauma. You know, kids seeing kids and people getting killed ain't normal. But most of the
Yeah.
world don't have to see that. Then go to school and nobody asks you if you're all right.
Right.
And you think it's normal. Certain people's normal is very unnormal. But then the therapy that's offered is not the therapy that's for our culture. It's the therapy that's based on the therapy of other cultures. Because you can't study our culture. We don't go to therapy.
When you
You know,
talk about the
prison
health side of
reform is
stuff.
important. All of that. Prison reform, education, and health, and economic empowerment, and also, you know, architecting these laws and making these bills. You know, so
So that,
it's all. That's what I see. All and we all fly.
yeah. That was- so you mentioned on the healthcare side, man. Let me tell you a little something what's taking place here in our part of the state, right, or in the state in general. And shout out again to Dr. Chris because she's been helping to shine a light on the situation. You know, Dr. Moore that passed, it was a black doctor, black female doctor that recently passed, and she made national news before she died. And she said before she died, and I'm just paraphrasing, I'm not saying it 100% how she said it, but uh, her own colleagues, the doctors at the hospital, did not treat her with the care that she needed. They treated her, and this is somewhat of how she said it, as like a drug addict, right? So that summarizes a lot of what I've been hearing from my constituents, from women, and particularly black women, and even just black men as well, and minorities in general. When we go to the hospitals, when we go to the doctor, they're they're not truly listening to our symptoms. They're not truly listening and understanding. There's an underlying bias when it comes down to us, right? So now we're fighting to say some type of implicit bias training should be in place for all healthcare professionals when it comes down to minorities in the state of Indiana, and it should be nationally, because you need to understand our culture. You need to understand, uh, there's a perception, right, that we can endure more pain than other races. We could take when it comes down to medical conditions, and that sometimes that bias may make a doctor feel like I don't have to prescribe this type of medication, or I don't have to give this type of consultation because they'll get over it. So that's the type of stuff that we're fighting against, and we're demanding that a level of training, and the Black cause is pushing that with Representative Robin Shackelford out of Indianapolis. But we got a prime case and situation where a life was lost, and they didn't listen, they didn't respect what she was trying to tell them, and we got to use that as an example and prevent that from happening from anybody else.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, it's like a thing. Like it's not even something that another culture is told. They just do it. They just categorize us as number two, and you know they could take more pain because they've dealt with it and survived. And you know we don't get that number one care that everyone else does. We don't get that number one medicine, that number one therapy, that number one respect. And my thing is I'm not even expecting anybody to just get that to us. We're gonna have to
Right.
take it, provide it for ourselves. And that's what the commission is all about. If you ain't gonna do for us, which you don't have to, but you should, we'll do for us. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And we just need to just know the problems. And instead of waiting for people to fix them, we will figure out how to legally fix all problems, period, that get presented, or at least chip away at that iceberg and make it easier for somebody else that can do a better job or knows it a little better to handle it. You
Right.
know?
No, and
Also
plus,
leading by example. I want this to be the cool for culturally and like-minded people to link up and click up and to do things together, you know, and for us to control the narrative, for
right,
us to be the ones to say you're right or wrong, not you tell us or, you know, we need your acknowledgement to be certified. Nah, we certify you, you know.
yeah,
We tell you if you're trying to fake and try to rob the culture, we can sniff that out because we know it, you know, just like when people that were close to me were going through it, I called the commission. Commission loaded up like Voltron, got on the plane, and we met
right,
hours later and didn't tell people what they wanted to hear. We told them the truth.
right,
But based on everything that's rolled out, we was dead right.
yeah,
Every single second of it.
yeah, and it played itself out. It played itself out
Played
just like you
itself out.
said.
Wait, like, yo, it's not like we fortune tell us. We just don't let emotion get in the way of logic.
Right,
And
man,
we
that's real.
influenced by conspiracy or by some loser pretending he's a winner. And of the losers thinking that another loser's winning. That's all that happened. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, you know,
Hey,
I'm really happy. Right?
I want to give you some props, man. A shout out because you did a phenomenal thing, and a lot of people don't even know it. And the Everybody Eats,
Oh,
that
Project Everybody.
campaign, man, during the holiday, man,
Yeah.
Dame launched the Everybody Eats, and we feeding folks in the city of Gary, Newark,
Mm-hmm.
New York. Everybody was eating during the holidays, man, and it was because of your resources you invested in that, man. So again, from the people in the city of Gary, much love and respect. We was able to feed veterans. We was able to feed homeless folks. We was able to feed folks that's just struggling because of the impact of COVID-19. Man, if you drive right now, at any given day down our everyday food pantry,
Yeah.
it's a line wrapped around the building.
Mm-hmm.
People is struggling right now.
And,
And
and
I'm telling folks that.
and that's how I, you know, even found out about it. Is I was on the Zoom with the OSG, and Dennis was like, "Yo, the food pantries is closing down because you know COVID. They closed the churches down, and that's where the food pantries was at." And he was saying, you know, when we be feeding the kids, it'd be the adults online that don't even have kids in the school.
Right,
Everybody, and you know, it was like, okay, mission, let's go find some food. But in finding food, I'm not going to try to give away food that's going to hurt us health wise.
right,
I wanted to give another alternative to what I consider one of our biggest enemies, which is meat, pause, you know, and all the cancer and the pus that comes in it. And, you know, so we got the Beyond Meat. And that's what I eat. So everybody was eating what I got on my table. You know
right.
what I mean? So I thought that was important. And, you know, when I told you about it, you activated. You was like, you know, I got somebody and some people that need some help. And we always down to do it. So, yeah, we did it over Zoom.
No, absolutely, man.
So we got a lot going on. But, you know, what I want people to do is know when you're passing laws. Know when these bogus laws are being passed. We'll blow that up. Like, you know, we just did a quick pause lick on live. But, you know, I got a network. We got a network. And I'm relaunching the
Right,
app. I'm launching it over the air. And we'll have distribution of content. And we'll be able to showcase our real heroes, tell these stories, and control the narrative. You know, it's no more
right,
asking for, it's no more fitting in. And look how they act over some, when they just mad over an election, you know, just because the guy they wanted to win didn't win.
hmm
They threw a temper tantrum and ran up and wasn't even scared, didn't put on mask. The entitlement was crazy. You know, all the
right,
stuff we done been through. We just, you know, stand outside. They bringing out the squad. But the good part about it is it's exposed, you
yeah,
know, and it's crazy. that the only thing that's making people move is when white people start killing white people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That was the difference yesterday.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
Now you're gonna see
Yeah.
some things, right? So, you know, I'm observing that. We all know it. We ain't gotta say it, but now we got proof of concept. And the president acknowledged the president-elect, you know?
Right.
So I'm curious to see what they're gonna do. I know this 25th Amendment thing probably won't happen.
Right.
Impeachment, it looked like they think about doing it, but I'm watching. I'm watching.
The
You know,
world
in any way
watching.
I can help, you know, I'll be down here as soon as this thing is over. When you gonna get the well, are you getting the vaccine?
Yeah, I'm going to get it, man. Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
you know, with my family, I can't risk it right now. You know, we got a lot of folks
Yeah.
with underlying health conditions, and the work that I do, I'm around people every day, all day, even in the state house. And I told you, I caught COVID, right? In the state house. I'm gonna say this. I ain't gonna say I caught it at the state house, but I had that shit when I left the state house. You feel what I'm saying? So
Definitely ain't
you
happen
can't,
left my house.
right?
Pause. we done went to Wyoming. You've been to ranches, 2 different ranches in Wyoming, LA. We done made out records. All type of shit ain't catch it. You went to work.
Work and caught it real quick, man. No, it's real though, man. But I can't take that risk. It was another thing, man. I wanted to say in turn, well, just get your thoughts and opinions on, because I want the people back home where I'm at to get your thoughts and perspective on leadership, man. Leadership right now is at a deficit in the world, right? Folks is thriving and yearning for people to step up and
Yeah.
be a voice. And it's like a deficit of people that's not, that we should be filling a void right now. Like,
Yeah.
how would you encourage folks to step up and be true leaders right now in this time in history?
Well, to me, you know, people gonna do what looks cool. So if it looks cool leading, if it looks cool doing positive stuff, then more people should be doing that. You know, like, you know, if someone doesn't have their own mind and they're influenced by whoever, you know, whoever, you know, they like the most, then so be it. So, you know, people that have influence got to make it look cool. They got to really care. But caring is cool, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I do. I televise, I showcase, I'm very transparent about what I do. You know, I go live all the time, you know, because I want people to see it. I ain't contriving it. It ain't no posing. So I want people to see how cool it is to be a superhero, to care about
Mm-hmm.
others, care about yourself, and you know what it means to be about that action. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cold out here.
Man, it ain't cold out there. You don't know what cold is no more, man.
That's a good thing. Then I did my job. Word. I
What
don't
is
want
it,
to know.
like 60 degrees? It's like 60 degrees in LA.
Yep, too cold. I want 80 at all times.
Man, it's
You
like
know.
30 degrees here.
Yeah, I ain't playing that game. I don't get it. I'm chilling. You know, I'm over here on daddy time. You know what I mean? Pause. I'm with I'm with the baby. We got the night nurse
Right.
today. So I got a night off, but usually I got that night
Okay.
shift. Yeah. So you know,
Hey,
I look forward to everything we're gonna do this year. You know, a big write up in the magazine that we launching. You know, the documentary, the movie. We made a short film. We launched. You know, a lot of things are happening. We loaded up
man,
during COVID.
yeah.
We made records. We made songs. We got videos. We got a lot going on, and we got that work. You know,
It was
like
a wild year, man. 2020 was a wild year. We put in a lot of work in 2020.
hmm we did a lot.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, we
generals,
did a lot.
soldiers wait to be told what to do. We not soldiers. We generals. We about that action, the right
No,
action,
absolutely.
productive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. But much love and respect to you, man. To tell Rocky I said what's up. Tell
Definitely.
baby Dusko,
I appreciate
aka Billy, young Billy the Kid.
seeing them with little boots. You know, send my regards
Yeah.
to your whole family.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But let's connect, man. Let's do this,
Are we
and
gonna keep talking?
let's stay.
Check in. Yo, every single time you got a law to get passed, let me know and let them know how you did it and everything. Every time something bogus happens, I want to be. I'll tell. Let me know. I'll let the world know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's get it, man. Week 1 down of the legislative session here in Indiana. We got 4 more months of attempts to pass laws, block laws, all that type stuff. So, man, I'm gonna keep you in the loop every step of the way, bro.
Now let me, and I'll be down there as soon as I get the, as soon as it's healthy out there, I'm out. I'll be out there on that
Yes,
water,
sir.
and it's warm.
GI, stand up, man. Appreciate you,
Yo,
Dame, man.
wait till you see the new renovations on the ranch. It's a whole nother thing now, bro.
Man, I'm ready to get out there. You need to get them 4-wheelers though.
And it's too cold right now. And when it get hot, they'll be there. Don't worry.
All right.
All right, bro.
All right, man. Peace.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.